Happy New Year and welcome to Building Community, a monthly presentation of One Roof Chicago, where we are working to keep you informed as we build a safe, affirming, and uplifting LGBTQ plus community in the Bronzeville Grand Boulevard neighborhoods of Chicago. I'm Jim Harvey, your host, and in the spirit of unity and dedication, our show will offer you insights into the powerful work of partners and friends in the greatest city in the U.S. Our guest this month is Ethan Zagore. Ethan is our own program manager for our workforce development program. And we want to welcome him and tell him not to get nervous.
Oh, no, Jim.
Because this is a great program, and we're glad to have you here.
I appreciate that, Jim. I appreciate
So,
that.
Ethan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure,
What brought you to this work?
So first of all, thank you for having me, Jim, in the introduction. I am from the west side of Chicago, born and raised, Providence St. Mel High School alum, East Garfield Park, and so Howard University undergrad. So I was always around talented, academically talented African Americans, and so and going to Howard and kind of broadening my horizons outside the west side and learning about different communities, whether it be different people from the Caribbean, Africa, but also in terms of LGBTQ plus. Just learning and just fellowship, and we were different clubs and programs. And so my work before coming to Run Booth was really two or threefold. Higher education in terms of programming and student services, University of Notre Dame, University of Chicago. I served as the vice president of Ivy Tech as well. And then also with some nonprofits on the west side, Home of Life Community Development Corporation, Gary Comer, and also the National African American Insurance Association, where I work remotely mostly. Served there for about a year. So predominantly, I'm also, predominantly in the last few years has been grant writing. And so helping our underserved communities on the west side and the south side in terms of receiving grant funding, anything from micro grants to large federal and state awards, U.S. Department of Education, U.S. Department of Agriculture. So in coming to One Roof and looking at the opportunity, it was a great opportunity for me to merge all of the talents that I had and the experience I had, kind of not only growing up and culturally, but also looking at Chicago's landscape and populations that are sometimes marginalized and underserved. So, and really, in terms of understanding the LGBTQ community as a heterosexual male, my good friend Kendra Malone, when I was at the University of Chicago, she took me through safe space facilitation class. Mm-hmm. And so I really picked up probably 75% of what I've learned at that time. And so, One Roof is a very progressive organization. They have very lofty goals, very strong board. And also with the workforce development program that we'll get into, it's just a very unique program that I want to be a part of. So.
Well, when I listen to you run down your background, it just reminds me of an old song called Just in Time.
Just in time. That's it.
We found you just in time.
I appreciate that.
So tell us about the Workforce Development Program.
Sure. Just from my background, I've seen a lot of different programs, but this one here is very intentional. So basically, this program will take this calendar year 20 LGBTQ, we still call them youth, but they'll be from age 18 to 24. And these are individuals, some that are working, some that are unemployed, but those that are serious about advancing their professional skill set in general, and also interested in our certified nursing assistant program at Malcolm X College on the west side. And so the program is a comprehensively 12-week program. The first 4 weeks is with our partners called Cara Collective. That's an outstanding organization which takes individuals, they have multiple lanes of training, but that first training, that transformation program, is a 4-week program which really, from 8:30 to 4, Monday through Thursday for 4 weeks, and it gives them the core job skills they really need to perform in any environment. So we're talking about time management, communication, even dress, computer literacy. And so it's an outstanding program. And so, our participants who are interested in CNA, their first 4 to 12 weeks will be spent at CARA, but they'll learn these during a 4-week program. From there, they will go on to Malcolm X for the 8-week Certified Nursing Assistant Program. Malcolm X has programs to start 5 times a year, twice in the spring, twice in the fall, and once in the summer. And they also have morning and evening offerings. So it's a very flexible program for those who are employed, unemployed, part-time, so it really works that way. But the great thing about the program is that there are also incentives involved. And so Cara Collective, they offer incentives in the 3rd week of their program and after completion of their program. And then us at One Roof, we offer assistance with stipends and tuition, books and fees, and also mentorship, which is very important. And so the board, the individuals at Cara Collective, our partners there, and also the board at One Roof and us will provide mentorship for these individuals, not only during the 12-week program, but also as they try to get into employment and find a permanent employment opportunity after finishing their certification. So it's a great program.
It is a great program. So tell me this. Is there a particular segment of the LGBTQ plus community population that we're looking to take advantage of or benefit from this program?
Sure. A lot of times when students come out of high school, some go to college, some going to work, but it can be challenging when you're young and you're trying to get up there on your own. And so we're looking for those students who, number one, have an interest in being a certified nursing assistant, and just being able to, when they enter the workforce, they already have the background to understand how to provide services to LGBTQ plus seniors and the elderly, who many times, because they're also marginalized, don't receive the quality and affectionate care they should with those understanding their populations. And so these students have a unique background. We're here to guide them towards, and they might be a CNA and do other things professionally as well, but this is to get them a good start with professional development through CARA, academic instruction through Malcolm X, and that professional track to get them to where they have a good, well-paying job, and then they can go from there and go and get their bachelor's in nursing. They can be nurse practitioner, and who knows? But more importantly, they're on the right track with the skill sets they need to be able to assist their own community.
So I imagine that having those kinds of skilled services in the LGBTQ community, can make a critical difference, particularly in the lives of seniors who, are also facing all kinds of issues and challenges with their health, with housing, so many other things that have to be overcome.
I mean, caretakers, those who are in nursing homes, those who, are in hospitals. It's important for those who are allies like myself to the LGBTQ community to understand some of the plights and some of the discriminatory behavior, even historically, that the LGBTQ plus community has encountered. This is a pipeline that can help to adjust that and start a chain of individuals who know how to handle. They are certified nurse assistants like everyone else, but they come with the skill set of being, sensitive in the background from the LGBTQ plus knowledge base to say, okay, listen, I can provide care and I understand, because the last thing somebody who is a senior or someone who is elderly needs when they have certain type of challenges is to have somebody who's insensitive to your own care. And this is a pipeline that helps to change that.
So you've really set it up for my next question, and that is, what makes this program different from other workforce development programs?
Sure. So I think the one thing that makes it different is the targeting of individuals, and a lot of times our youth in the city who are LGBTQ plus. If you look at rates such as housing discrimination, some suicide, different things, suicide rate, they have challenges themselves working in a world that's mostly heterosexual. So getting these, what makes it different is that it's targeting a marginalized population with a goal of getting them professional development, academic instruction, but then giving back to a community that they understand this also has been historically marginalized. So I think that's what makes it different. Also, the mentorship makes a difference from the One Roof Chicago's board and the cohort-based nature of it within Malcolm X. That makes it different as well. And so with those two things, and then remember, these participants are 18 to 24, so they have plenty of time to develop and to keep going. So what makes it different is the targeting the LGBTQ, but helping a marginalized community with the end goal of helping those seniors and elderly who have been marginalized is a very distinct program. Yeah,
I'm particularly excited about the relationship between between us and Cara Collective.
Sure.
Cara's been around for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And they do phenomenal work.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of just taking people and doing job readiness and
Right.
socialization and helping people learn skills so that they can navigate their way through community and employment and education.
Yeah.
You know, and to have them on board as a partner of ours,
Yeah.
you know, really makes a big difference here.
Jim, it makes a huge difference because a lot of times our youth, even our adults, cannot replicate what they don't see. So some of the core skill sets that, in terms of like time management, communication, I think they have about 6 opportunities where they're written up. They have to start the program, or it's holding people accountable. And so when you have some of these skill sets, and you're going in a cohort of students who are trying to find them as well, in all ages with the Cara helps, it's really a game changer. And some of the skill sets that they give can be listed on their resume. So when they apply for employment, whether they get it themselves or through Cara, they can say, listen, I come from a robust, 1-month program that's all day for 4 days a week. And so it's a very important program. And for a lot of participants with us and the Cara service outside of us, that might be some of the greatest things on their resume with those skill sets listed. Say, listen, when I come to you not only intelligent and motivated. I come to you with the understanding of what I need to do, with the nuances of how to keep a job and then how to grow at that job.
So I know that you're a Howard University grad, which I think is a wonderful thing. A wonderful thing, absolutely.
Yeah.
But talk to me about, in your conversations you've had with people that you've been enrolling in this program, have you come across any enrollees who have shared with you an interest in going on to higher education once they've finished this program?
Yeah.
If they've got that opportunity to go on.
They have. I think for me, getting to know some of our enrollees and future participants is you really get to know their life story, where they've been, and where they want to go. And when you're talking about 18 to 24, whether you have a high school diploma or you're seeking a GED, a lot of them have jobs that they have to make sure that they can sustain. But they might want to go into healthcare knowing that can be lucrative, and this is that first step. And so I always share with them, look at this as where this can help you go, right? And we know after they finish, Cara and Malcolm X, they'll still be part of One Roof family, right? Where we're helping them to with that next professional skill. So with my experience running Upward Bound and Talent Search Trio programs, being a vice president of Ivy Tech and just working at the University of Chicago, understanding what programming should look like, but also what an academic scheme, academic plan, a career path and plan should look like. That's what I'm helping them to understand, that they're so young, they can do this. They can come out of here in 3 to 4 months with Cara on their resume, a Malcolm X CNA certification, and from there, if they want to go get more certifications or trainings, if they want to go on to get an associate's or bachelor's, all the way up to master's, they can do that. But it starts somewhere from them having a job just to sustain to having a career, and that's a difference.
Housing is the centerpiece of One Roof Chicago's program, and one of the things that is not lost on me is the fact that if you are a resident of public housing in Chicago, they'll pay for you to go to school.
Yeah.
Which I think is a great opportunity, and I'm just wondering if you've come across any students who live in public housing, or is that part of your plan to do some outreach in the future?
Right.
And target public housing residents, young people who, because LGBTQ folks live in public housing.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
And so I was just wondering if you've given any thought
Sure. I was just made aware, board member made a great recommendation last week, and so definitely something that we're definitely looking at. Chicago, the Chicago Housing Authority has a long-standing history here in Chicago, from large tenement high-rises that have been torn down and people relocated, to places where you have 1-level, 2-level places where they are Chicago Housing Authority and public housing. I think that it was something I was not aware of, but now that I'm aware of it as of last week, I think it's an important question to ask. And I think that getting to know these students, they want anything that can help them, the participants. And so that's an outstanding opportunity, just not for our participants in One Roof, the Kara and Malcolm X, but for all us, is something to know that, city colleges will, make those accommodations financially for them. And I think that could be a real game changer.
Yeah.
And it's also worth looking into what else is out there for public housing residents, right? In terms of, to get them, more opportunities. And so I'm definitely going to be looking into that in terms of recruiting more students. And I hope that we can help push them through that way as well.
These are the kinds of programs that help me underscore how great this city is.
Yeah.
Because you can go a lot of places and these kinds of opportunities don't exist.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
And I just got to tell you, to take care of our residents like this is just really a wonderful and phenomenal kind of opportunity.
It is.
That is true.
Yeah.
So, are there any other organizations that you're looking at for recruiting? Bringing into the fold anybody in particular that's expressed a specific interest in being a source or a resource for helping to refer people?
Yeah, well, of course, our main partners are Kara Collective and Malcolm X College through City Colleges of Chicago, but we have two local West Side high schools, both in one in North Lawndale, technically, one in East Garfield Park, who are very interested in, they both have LGBTQ plus clubs and student clubs, and so they're interested in moving students after they graduate in May, making this an opportunity so these students can come in, in June or July, start with Kara Collective, and by late summer, early fall, be enrolled as a cohort of anywhere from 4 to 6 students who all know each other and come in with accountability. And so, Chicago Public Schools, both of those schools have been very helpful with, just being open and just trying to find, I give props to the administration, the career development department, and the advisors and the guidance counselors to say, this is a program that's down the street. Now, Kara is, downtown West Loop, but Malcolm X is down the street. And so it's always good to be having opportunities where, a lot of these students have to take, one bus down Jackson for 20 minutes to go to Kara, and they got to take one bus down for 10 minutes down to Malcolm X on Damon to go to the school. That's it's easier when it's more familiar, and it's easier when you can do these things on the West Side and the West Loop, and then come out, be looking in October and say, hey, listen, I can get a job as a CNA, but I can also continue my education in Malcolm X or elsewhere.
Yeah. And CNAs and other allied healthcare skills are among the fastest growing skills in demand in this country. And the statistics say that by the year 2030, which is just around the corner, by the year 2030, we'll probably have healthcare fields like this being the greatest sources of employment and income in the United States. And what an opportunity to have that kind of a skill under your belt. Maybe I need to go and change my career.
Well, you know what, Jim? When you look at the aging baby boomer population, when you look at the fact that people all over the world, but Americans are living longer. You look at the changing demographic, racially and demographically in America. It's important to have Black and brown individuals and be put in a position to learn the skills to get into the healthcare field. Some of these jobs, in addition to IT and architect, are some of the highest paying jobs in healthcare, and there's such a diversity in the field of healthcare. So to be 18 to 24 and to have a CNA and still be able to hold down the job and then be able to be a CNA, it's the sky's the limit for those students who join our program and can complete it.
Yeah, and CNA, has. It's a great stepping stone. I often think about the fact that I've got a dear friend here who I met, good grief, maybe 30 years ago. And when I met her, she was a CNA. But she was working in a nursing home. And at that time, I was running a hospital unit here in the city. And I asked her, I said, tell me about your job as a CNA. And she did. And I said, well, would you like something more challenging where you could take that same certificate and do something more challenging with it? She said, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, what you could probably do is work in a hospital setting. as opposed to a nursing home.
Right.
And she said, but nobody would probably hire me. I said, well, it just so happens I run 2 units in a hospital.
Yeah.
You know, if I can get you in, would you be interested? She said, absolutely. That
awesome.
was 30 years ago, and today she is one of the most celebrated individuals in the healthcare field in Chicago.
All right.
She's received all kinds of awards and has been a mentor to others as well. And so I point to that as an example all the time. You give somebody the opportunity to take that first big step.
That's it.
And who knows where it goes from there.
Yeah, a lot of times, you know, our participants, they just need someone to show them the vision and how to get down the path.
Right.
You know, the mentorship, caring about them, helping them with resume development, even things like sorting out. I have one participant that they're always running late to work, and so they're spending too much on Ubers and Lyfts. And so just small nuances like that where, you know, just kind of the time management of it. Malcolm X sits across from one of the largest hospital complexes with the Western UIC Health in the country. And so, and our 7th Congressional District might have the first or second or third greatest number of hospitals in the country. And so there's a lot of opportunity. But it's really about a student trusting and believing that you can help them. They might go to be an LPN, 4-year RN completion, nurse practitioner, so many different routes you can go, even radiology.